call this meeting to order. Please rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please. Here.
Mr. Pasco. Here. Mr. Runnemede.
Here.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Here.
Mr. Shapiro.
Here.
Mrs. Kelly. Here. Mr. Farrell here.
He's absent.
Mr. Long.
Here.
Mr. Basor.
Here.
Mr. Anderson.
Here. Okay, public notice of this meeting pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act has been given by the clerk in the following manner. One, posted on the bulletin board in the Borough Clerk's office on January 8th, 2020. And two, emailed to the retrospective carrier post on January 8th, 2020. At this time, we're going to skip the normal order of business, and we're going to go right to our main event for this evening. Chief, can I turn it over to you first?
Yes, we have the representatives from Cayman County Hero Scholarship Fund here. He's here tonight to present an award to Officer Matt Wallen. Steve Takir.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, and thank you for the opportunity to take care of one of your own. Okay, we came across this as part of a routine that we do when we do our annual awards dinner, which is coming up this Friday night. All right, it was presented to us to review, to take a look at someone that is doing an outstanding job for the Borough of Runnemede as well as the community of Runnemede. So here we are today. It didn't quite fit the criteria for our awards that will be given out on Friday night, but we certainly thought that it warranted something along these lines. So to make this plain and simple, we want to recognize Patrolman Matt Woolen. Matt will come forward, the Runnemede Police Department. On behalf of the Camden County Hero Scholarship, you are hereby officially commended by the Camden County Hero Scholarship Fund in that your 5 years with the Runnemede Police Department have been exemplary. You have proven to be a leader in the police department as well as the community. In 2015, you started a donation bin for the Camden County Animal Shelter. Collections included food, cleaning supplies, and bedding for animals. In addition, you volunteered your time at the shelter to walk dogs that have been abandoned and awaited hopeful adoption. In 2019, you started a coat drive, and in cooperation with the school officials, have identified the less fortunate families and have provided them with winter coats. Along with fellow officers, you have raised funds to feed the less fortunate during the holiday seasons and provide gifts to the underprivileged children. You have sponsored blood drives for the Red Cross, bringing awareness to the community to donate blood. In 2019, your raised funds for the young Runnemede boy who was diagnosed with a rare form of cancer. You reached out to the police departments around the community or the county and created a patch collection for the young boy. In addition to working and serving the community, you are a member of the Zone 5 Critical Incident Team, and you serve as president of the Association of Runnemede Police Officers, a nonprofit organization that raises money for the less fortunate families of Runnemede and brings awareness to charitability causes. Your unselfish display of dedication and generosity to the community and those less fortunate is truly to be admired. Your actions are exemplary, the duties of any officer that truly cares for his fellow man and the community that he serves. Presented on behalf of the Camden County Hero Scholarship. If you don't mind. Mayor and Council, thank you. We appreciate it very much. Give us that opportunity.
Don't move.
Sorry, let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
One more. That's all right.
Thank you.
All right, you got Mayor Council on there?
Council now?
Yep, sure, please.
Very nice.
He's a police.
Miss Kelly. Put her head right there. She's nice. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, tighten up just a little bit, guys. Yeah, Dave. Dan.
Wait a second.
Don't worry. Yep. Oh. Specify, please. Look at them right.
Careful now, Chair.
They're new chairs, they're very sturdy. They're much sturdier than the ones I used to be forced to sit in. Yeah, I know. Good job.
All right, we'll get right to the meeting. At this point, we have approval of minutes. A motion is ordered for the approval of minutes of the January 28th and February 4th meetings submitted by the clerk, as each member has received copies. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, seconded by Ms. Passio. All in favor? Aye. Okay, reports?
I have a report from the municipal court, total of, this is for the, I guess this is the entire year amount of money for the borough was $149,937 collected in fines. And for the January period, total of $10,103.38.
That was the court?
That was the court. And I reported the Registrar of Vital Statistics for the month of February. A total of $2,106 was collected for death copies, marriage licenses, and marriage copies. All monies returned over to the treasurer. I reported the borough clerk for the month of February. A total of $2,823.60 was collected for various licenses and permits, including pet licenses. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I have a report from the construction office that a total of $10,041 was, $13,086 was collected for permits, COs, and zoning fees. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. I have the report of the fire marshal for the month of February. A total of $7,663.50 was collected in fire fees. There were 59 inspections completed. There were 138 EMS incidents and 37 fire incidents. There were 3 Type 1 permits issued, and total EMS fees collected $19,058.42. All monies were turned over to the treasurer. A report of the tax collector for the month of February, a total of $2,838,246.35 was collected in taxes, and in sewer rentals, $307,987.57. And that's all I have.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the reports?
I'll make a motion to approve all the reports.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Lowenstein. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, committee reports. Finance, Mr. Ranieri.
Thank you, Mayor. That came around really quick, but I'm ready. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening, John.
Thank you. I'm going to start in finance. We just completed and submitted our annual financial statement on time. Thank you, Greg. We're still working on our 2020 budget. We're looking to have our budget completed and introduced at the end, at our next caucus meeting, which is March 31st. Mayor, Council, the Green Team, and Reimagine Runnemede are working towards helping our business community, not only in the redevelopment zone, but throughout the town. Just as we did with the Heart and Soul program, we will be continuing our community breakfast, lunch, dinner parties. And our next breakfast event will be for all the businesses and professionals in town. Our goal will be to assist and help answer the needs of our businesses and professionals. We hope to improve communications between business to business, business to borough, and business to residents. And on that note, Mayor and Council are having the first reading tonight, changing one of our sign ordinances, allowing businesses to have one additional sign to promote their business and it does not require any additional fees or permits. Big thank you to the mayor and council for their support, Keith Knight and Dan Long for helping me with writing and implementing this new ordinance. After talking with the mayor, the Green Team is taking action on educating and informing our local businesses on the proper procedures for trash and recycling procedures. All of our business and residents are to follow the same guidelines for the single-stream recycling program. The Green Team is also co-sponsoring the 2020 census, along with the Runnemede Library and the Women's Club. I want to thank Kathy Lucinda and Patty Adair for all their work. And one more thing before I sign out. We have an Eagle Scout in town who has to do his project to get his scouting certificate. And he wants to put a labyrinth, they say it? Labyrinth. Over at the RYA field. And I haven't seen the actual size of this thing yet, but they're going to want council's approval. When I get the information on the physical size, the actual location, I'll bring it to your attention, hopefully for a caucus, and we can approve it to make sure it's something that we can have. Okay? And the rest is progress.
Okay, thank you. Public safety, Mrs. Kelly.
Thank you, Mayor. Our police had 801 calls today, up to this end of the month for service. Traffic summonses, 325 for the month. Motor vehicle crashes, 19. 144 arrests, and only 17 hours of overtime. Narcan was deployed one time. And thank you again for your efforts on behalf of our citizens. Express that thanks to the chief too.
Yes, definitely.
Our fire department had EMS collected fees of $19,000. EMS due to date is $44,998.79, a total of $58,118.29 collected for fees at EMS on the fire department. I met with Fred Laverty, our police chief, our fire chief, and he said that this is going to be his last report because he'll be retiring on March 31st. So I'm going to read this report because it's been over 5 years now since I've been getting these reports, and they're always very interesting and very fulfilling. The multi-year plan Freddie gave me was extended up to 2023 for the fire department. All the issues and the inventory and the proposed purchases are within the operational standards for that department. Inspector Scott, Doubleman, and Motch have completed inspections, and we expect the transition when the chief leaves at the end of the month to be seamless. The entire department has continued their annual OSHA training, and Training Officer Kearney has been working with the line officers for the department's training and Beaver Brook Alliance drills. The entire staff has been working to keep the apparatus, equipment, and building maintained. The transition has been working well on the department side with the fire officer promotion, the fire marshal and officer official promotion. And tonight there will be a ordinance introduced setting up the structure of the fire department. And it will be the first ordinance that we've ever had in that, so it's history. We're making history tonight. And in closing, Chief Laverty said, this will be my last submitted report to Mayor and Council. I would like to thank all of you for your cooperation and wish you continued progress and success in the community. Respectfully, Alfred A. Laverty. I just wanted to mention too, tomorrow night we're going to be having a award ceremony for the poetry contest that we had in town. And There's 9 winners, 3 from each grade, 3 from 6th grade, 3 from 7th grade, and 3 from the 8th grade. And they will be presented awards tomorrow evening. They are Sandy and Darielle Ferguson, Saleya Ferguson, Samara Piron, and Madison Williams. They are the winners in the 6th grade. In the 7th grade, it's Delaney Kenyon, Maggie Chen, and Elizabeth Howard. In the 8th grade, it's Madison Penicelli, Reese Cooney, and Haley Syracuse, and we congratulate these wonderful poets. Their poems are wonderful, and you will be seeing lines from the poems posted throughout the town in the next month. And that's tomorrow night on the 4th, 7 o'clock, here in the Borough Hall, and we will be presenting the awards that evening. And I invite all the council to be here that night, tomorrow night.
Okay.
All right. And that's my report.
Okay. Thank you very much. Public events, Ms. Patsy.
Oh, hello. Thank you, Mayor and Council. All right, let's see what we have. March 12th is free senior dinner. It's on Thursday. It's sponsored by the Municipal Alliance, and we've been doing it every year. The play will be a Triton. It is Cinderella. Dinner starts at 5:30. And we're going to need to take an account of who's coming because we have to make sure that everybody has a dinner. It goes over well with all our seniors. Everyone here on council is invited. And Rich's son is the king, I understand. Correct me if I'm wrong, right? Yeah, so he's the king. So you definitely will be there. Well, make sure you come at 5. Come early and have dinner. All right. Are you going to be there, or police going to be there? Municipal Alliance, Cinderella dinner. Usually, there's usually somebody there. Yes. The dwarf? Cinderella's. No, it's not the dwarf. It's Cinderella in the glass slipper. Okay, so you can call me at 856-466-5133. If any senior would like to go, please guys let me know for sure that you're going so I can give the count to Nancy. We're going to see Nancy tomorrow anyway, aren't we? Okay, so now also remember that there is a rabies clinic on March 14th. It's on a Saturday from 10 to noon. This is a 3-year vaccination, so if you were there last year, please don't show up this year or the year before. Sometimes I see the same faces and it's like, no, you're not due yet. The Women's Club will be there, as always, accepting donations of any kind. And then those donations will go to Homeward Bound Shelter. Any cat food that you do bring will be distributed to our resident caregivers of feral cats. So I collect those, and Matt's has been very kind to me and giving me some cat food, and I give it out to the caregivers in our town. Youth Mayor and Council. So Youth Mayor and Council is coming up, and we are now in the preparation point of it. And this is offered to all the 8th grade students, and it's a week-long learning of our government, of our governing body. It's a great time, and I will give you more information as we move along. With that, I say progress.
Thank you. Engineering, we're going to skip that, and we'll let the engineer report that. Public Works, Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes, thank you, Mayor and Council. The progress this week, the Harry Williams bathrooms were painted. The RYAA bathroom ceilings were redone and the walls are being painted. 3 manhole lids were replaced in town this week. Bike path in Beaver Branch Park, walking path was cut back. We had some storage up in the attic in the Borough Hall that was cleaned up. According to the fire department, it's not supposed to be up there. Potholes are being patched. 6 tons were used in the past 4 weeks. Spring preparations of the fields and buildings are ongoing. We have not turned the water on yet in the buildings, waiting for the threat of freeze to go away. Also, this week I saw it myself down on 3rd Avenue and Central. Sewer lines and storm lines are being videoed. by a service that we're using right now to see if we have any problems in our lines, so we can be proactive and take care of these beforehand so we don't have problems in the future. It was really interesting to look down into the lines. The part that I saw went down some 500 feet down into the sewer line. And it's not a pretty sight, but the sewer lines were in good shape. But it was quite interesting, and thank you, Public Works, for getting out there and being proactive. And the rest is progress.
Thank you.
Sorry, two other things. We're looking for a part-time janitor, 30 hours a week, and a permanent part-time bus driver, 24 hours a week. Applications can be picked up at Borough Hall.
Very good, thank you. Parking Rec. Mr. Sapiro. Your turn.
Good evening, everybody. Just getting busy. Baseballs and softball starting off on RYA and RPSF. Looks like their registration's up this year. We should have more teams, which is good. Also, it's not done yet. Basketball season is doing well. I talked to Public Works. They want to do a couple upgrades to the softball field with the dugouts that they built last year. Instead of jerking grass, they see if they can put some stones down, which is a little bit better than the greens.
In the bench area, right?
Yeah, bench area. And I think we're going to see if we can get some bleachers down there too for the parents to sit down. And then play something over there.
Richie, when are they gonna have opening day, do you know?
Opening day, I have no idea. They're still doing registration. The opening day should be sometime in April. Usually
don't know.
first or
Yeah.
second. Yeah.
No, we don't know. We won't find out for a
So
while.
like the week before.
We'll find-
Well, I'm just saying
I
because,
know some people over there, so you might find
We'll
out.
find out sooner this year.
I
I'm just saying.
have a couple connections in both areas.
I'm just saying because Easter is 12, right?
Yeah, it all depends on Easter. Usually they have it the week before Easter, but with the weather being so nice, they might even have it 2 weeks before that. It all depends on the weather. We stay lucky where we are. They'll have it sometime at the end of March or the first week of April. All depends on the weather.
Forgot to mention the
But they're
cleanup.
still doing registration, but everything's
Well,
going
keep us
smoothly.
posted so that we, because we like to go.
And I did look at the fields. Greg was right, Public Works doing a good job on them. They look real good. This early is shocking because usually the weather's been bad. So other than that, everything else is just progress.
Okay, thank you.
Great.
Ms. Patsy, did you want to announce something else about that cleanup?
Yeah,
It was
we are having a cleanup on March 28th,
community cleanup.
down at, where we're starting in Green.
Yeah, sorry, the Green Acres.
Great, okay, we're starting in the Green Acres or Beaver Branch Park, and we'll start at 10 o'clock, 10 to 12, for 2 hours. But come on out, we need all the help we can get to clean up.
And also the youth athletic associations who do that too, they should be cleaning up their
If you
own.
fill in an application, and there's 50 people, it's $500, you know?
Yeah, I'm just gonna add to
That's
that.
to be a nonprofit.
You've got some connections down there, so.
They do field cleanups.
And Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts.
Right before. the-
But if they tied into the Clean Communities project.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll talk to them. and
Yeah,
see what they do.
everybody signs in.
Yeah, we're doing it early this year so that we can beat the brush, the leaves and everything from hiding all of the cans and bottles back in the trails and things. And if we have enough people, we're gonna branch out on the Black Horse bike path. But if we don't have enough people, we're just gonna stick to Green Acres. So I hope to see you guys or your neighbors and so forth.
The bike path has been cleaned up already.
It's never clean enough.
I heard 6 bags. Okay, anything else?
Yeah, one more thing, I always forget, travel soccer starts their season, spring season this weekend. So we have 2 girls travel soccer teams and 2 boys travel teams.
What age is it?
Is U12 and U13 for boys, and it's for the girls, I want to say grade 8.
So under 8, under 12.
Right, under 8 and under.
I never played soccer, so.
Yeah,
They start this weekend.
it's amazing with the soccer leagues.
It's a travel, there's travel and in-house soccer. In-house soccer is for anybody in town, surrounding towns, if they want to play soccer here, they can. Travel, or for some of the kids that are a little bit better at it, want to, play other better town teams, so they'll go to Washington Township, they'll go to Barrington, stuff like that. In-house is usually just a bunch of teams from
Like in
Runnemede,
the,
like
and is it a
Runnemede.
bus that takes them?
No, parents.
Parents drop, okay.
There's two different leagues, South Jersey Soccer League for boys, South Jersey Girls Soccer League for girls. And this weekend, there's some 420 games opening up around the South Jersey area. And Saturday's supposed to be quite cold, so we're not looking, but as you know, I'm a referee, but Saturday's supposed to be quite cold, so they're not sure about that, but Sunday's on. Sunday's supposed to be 60 and sunny now, so.
Nice.
But it's, yeah, it opens up this weekend and they're rolling.
When's the snow?
Okay, anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you very much. One more. Solicitors report.
Sure. I have 5 shared services agreements on the agenda tonight and 3 ordinances. The mayor was in my office for what, 2-3 hours yesterday?
No.
It was pretty long. So there's a lot going on. Many of it you will see on tonight's agenda, and many things coming up on subsequent agendas. So lots and lots of progress, I would say.
Okay, good, thank you. And everybody had a chance to review everything, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Ranieri, we're in good shape? Okay, Ms. Bendo,
Emails from Mrs. Kelly.
Mr. Wozon got to see his stuff, so we're good? I believe so, Mr. Wozon.
Changes to,
Dan Durant.
All up to date ones, yeah. All of them are up to date, the last ones that I
Thank you.
submitted. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
You're quite welcome, Mr. Lobenstein. I very much appreciate that. You know how to pick it up.
Excellent, sir.
Engineers report, so if you would, please add some of the things that Mr. Farrell would have maybe reported.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to rely mostly on my report from caucus, but 2 changes since then is the CDBG application, which was for East 2nd Avenue. Reconstruction was submitted to CCIA yesterday, and Charles Marandino, their subcontractor who's on the paving for the road program, there is Arawak, their asphalt plant opened yesterday, so they were out there today to continue with the project after our winter shutdown.
What did they start today, do you know what they did?
They were milling the.
They did mill.
Starting on Schistler Circle, they're actually scarifying what's out there, they just churn up about 12 inches of
And put it back down again?
put it back down. They're going to compact it and then scrape off 4 inches when they go to do the asphalt work, probably on Thursday. And other than that, progress.
Okay. I just wanted to write one thing down. There was a broken sprinkler line on Rohan. If we could make sure that gets replaced. There's a gentleman out there with a sign on his lawn telling the concrete guys to fix it or write him a check for $250. So, if you can remember that.
You didn't have an address or? was it-
It's Mr. Walker's house, so of course I don't know his address. Does anybody know Mr. Walker? Do you know? You call him,
I know where it
his
is.
taxes?
I know where it is.
You know where it is? So he has beautiful lawn and one of the sprinklers got damaged. That was it?
That's it.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Old business done, new business. First thing we're going to do is a proclamation for the Youth Art Month. I think I'll read this this evening. I want to thank Ms. Kelly for I think Greg is not on the agenda.
They done.
Okay. He's only here in case we get in trouble. He's supposed to tell us when we're supposed to do something.
Did I cover everything, Greg? We're good? Thank you.
Okay. Youth Art Month, March 2020. Whereas art education contributes significant educational benefits to all elementary, middle, and secondary students by developing students' creative problem-solving and critical thinking abilities, teaching sensitivity to beauty, order, and other expressive qualities, giving students a deeper understanding of multicultural values and beliefs, and reinforcing and bringing to life what students learn in other subjects. And whereas the benefits of art education form the basis of world-class standards developed by the U.S. Department of Education, National Endowment of the Arts, and the Council of Art Education. Whereas our national leaders have acknowledged the necessity to include art experiences in all students' education. Therefore, resolved that support should be given to art teachers as they attempt to strengthen art education in their schools and communities. All residents of the Borough of Runnemede are urged to take interest in and give full support to quality art programs for our youth. Now, therefore, I, Nick Kapadas, Mayor of the Borough of Runnemede, officially proclaim the March 2020 be designated as Youth Art Month. This day, March 3rd, 2020.
All right.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Is it coincidental that it's in tandem with the poetry with the kids, the youth and the art program.
I mean, unless you guys created the poetry at the same time, then you
I
guys.
mean, if
did
this
it.
is being read today, is that just what?
It's being read today because it is March's art month.
Oh.
So our timing is good, and maybe next year we should do
Excellent.
everything at the same time.
Love it.
Obviously, we're doing, this is the first time we've ever done this,
Yeah,
and hopefully this is something we continue
it's great.
and support the kids.
Love it.
Okay,
I do need a copy of that.
I will sign it with a nicer form.
Education report.
Absolutely. Okay, we do have one, is that a nice enough one?
Or she just puts it in.
I
her
just put it in
report.
my.
Oh, you put it in your report, absolutely.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, we have a request authorization to issue a used car license to the Schmidt Family Auto and Belmar Collision. All paperwork is in order. Would someone like to make a motion for that?
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Passio,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Shapiro. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Resolution, we're going to go through these quickly, just so everyone understands what we're doing. If there's any questions, please stop me. I'm going to read them all, or stop at ones that need to be put together. So Resolution 2030 is a resolution authorizing a refund of a permit fee. This is for a solar permit that needs to be refunded for $136.
I'll make a motion.
I'm going to put a few together.
Oh,
You
okay,
okay with that?
sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll group a few. So Resolution 2031 is a resolution authorizing the sale of borough property through an online auction. This is the old police vehicle. Resolution 2032 is a resolution authorizing the Borough of Runnemede into a shared service agreement with the New Jersey Division of Motor Vehicles. This is the one-year agreement to put a police officer in there. The contract terms are the same. And I'm going to do the next one, Resolution 2033. It's a resolution awarding a contract to Office Basics as part of the cooperative pricing system. This is we're allowed to buy through their catalog.
Office supplies.
Yep, all our office supplies. Resolution 2034 is a resolution authorizing the transfer of a premium from the tax collector's redemption account to the general fund. Is this the one that we're putting in a separate fund?
Yes.
Okay, just in case. Everyone remembers this from the caucus. Stop me if you have any questions. And resolution, I'm going to stop at this one. Resolution 20-34 is a resolution authorizing taxes to be added to Block 124, Lot 901, due to the death of the 100% disabled veteran. This is putting taxes back on as we discussed.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, motion
I'll
for
second that motion from
2030 to 2034.
2044.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Passio. Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Spiro.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
Okay, those resolutions are adopted. Then we're going to group the shared service agreements. These are all the same. They are just different municipalities. The first one is a resolution authorizing a shared service agreement between the Borough of Chislehurst and the Borough of Runnemede for the use of our Vector vehicle and operator. Similar to what we did with Stratford. Then we have Resolution 2037, which is a resolution authorizing a shared service agreement between the Borough of Barrington and the Borough of Runnemede for the purchase of brine. 2038 is with the Borough of Oak Lynn for brine. 2039 is with the Borough of Mount Ephraim for brine. And 2040 is with the Borough of Belmar for brine. Obviously, we didn't have to do a whole lot this year, but we'll be prepared. This is a 3-year agreement with caveats to allow for potential changes in cost and opt-outs on both sides in case there's any change. But this way, we don't have to do it every year. And it'll allow the CFO to set the bill for the work and for the other side to pay for it. Would someone like to make a motion from
I'll make that
2036 to 2040? Motion by Ms. Kelly,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Ranieri.
2036 to 2040.
Yes, 36 to 40. Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Ranieri. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passio.
Yes.
Mr. Farrell. I'm sorry, he's not here. Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
Okay, those resolutions are adopted. Resolution 2041 is a resolution confirming 2020 appointments. These are for the Planning Board, the Joint Zoning and Planning Board. This is for Mary Dodds as the Class 4 member filling an unexpired term of Mr. Scott Wachowski until December 31st of 2020. And for Casher Farmer, a 2-year alternate filling the unexpired term of Mary Dodds until 2031-20, so we had this year.
So these are new planning board members?
Ms. Dodds had already served as
Kosh is an alternate.
an alternate.
Kosher's.
So, and then Kosher's moving into that just to fill the unexpired term.
Very good.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Shapiro. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Spacio.
Yes.
Mr. Spiro.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
Okay, I'm going to... I'll do one at a time. 2042 is a resolution authorizing the treasurer to make transfers between the appropriation reserves and the 2019 budget. As outlined by the treasurer / CFO, has outlined some movement of funds between different accounts to balance the books. I'm under the impression, correct?
Correct.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Ranieri. Any other discussion? Does everybody see what it is, just transfers?
Yeah.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Spacio.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
All right, that resolution is adopted. Resolution 2043 is a resolution extending the contract as part of the cooperative pricing system identifier. This is for
This is
the...
for the copy paper. This is the 6-month extension that we're about.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion, please?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second that motion.
Motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Pascal. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Mrs. Spacio.
Yes.
And Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
All right, that resolution is adopted. We are missing all the ordinances.
No, they're not.
Yeah, they're on the agenda.
Right.
They're attached, but they're not listed.
All right, well, then
You want
I'll
to-
just wing it.
You have
Okay.
copies of that?
They're in the back of your...
Yeah.
Ordinance 20-03. And then we'll go to payment bills after this. We have first reading for ordinance 20-03, which is an ordinance creating chapter 23, which is a new chapter, correct?
This is a new chapter.
It is a new chapter, as Ms. Kelly had also described, entitled Fire Department. The Borough of Runnemede decided to put fire department in the ordinance after, once again, 94 years. What this does is it moves a few items around, it establishes the composition, it establishes the municipal supervision and control, and it creates the organizational structure in accordance with New Jersey Statute 48, which is one fire chief duly elected by the members of the fire company recognized by the mayor and council, one deputy fire chief, one captain, and such other employees, officers, employees as mayor and council may deem advisable to appoint from time to time. That was a big part, I think, our solicitor felt it was important to allow us to do this. And then, once again, it also, following members not to exceed, which means we can't go above this, but it does not mean we have to fill every position. We fill them as needed. Would someone like to make a...
I'll make a motion and for approval and second reading on March 31st. If that's not correct, the right
No.
date?
What's the
April
date?
7th.
I'll make a motion to approve on second reading on April 7th.
April 7th? Okay.
I'll
Just
second
wing
that.
it.
I'll second
We're
that.
winging it a little bit. So motion by Mr. Ranieri, second by Ms. Kelly. Roll call, please.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Spacio.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
And Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
Okay, so we'll have our public hearing. After that public hearing, if council passes it, then we'll advertise according to law, sign it, and then what that will allow, civil service will be allowed to put out for the captain positions. Okay, ordinance 20-04 is an ordinance amending the chapter 395. This is the one for the general, this is the sign ordinance. The major change under the general regulations is that each business may have one temporary sign in addition to any permitted permanent signs. The maximum size of that sign shall not exceed 2 by 3 and shall promote the business on the business site, which is important. The sign shall be unattached and displayed in a safe and secure and approved manner. Corner properties may have 2 signs, one on each street side. So this is an amendment to the existing chapter. Would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion. Can I just make one correction real quick? I believe that it's after the one, it's just
Well, how about I have a motion and a second, and then we'll have the discussion. Is there
I'll make a
second?
motion to approve on second reading according to law on April 7th.
Okay, is there a
I'll
second?
second that motion.
Second by Ms. Patsy. Okay, further discussion?
Yeah, I just need to make a correction. I want to get rid of that temporary word, and it's each business may have one sign in addition. Get rid of temporary.
So here's what we can do.
It's not temporary, they can have it all year, so we don't want to consider it temporary.
That's fine. So what I suggest we do is just pass this on first reading. This is not a fundamental alteration.
I agree.
So I will just make that edit.
Thank you.
Does everybody agree to that? Okay.
That sounds kosher.
So we have a motion and a second as amended?
Yeah, it's in there.
As amended?
So what will it read like?
Okay, so here's the one change is that each business may have one additional sign, one sign in addition.
John, I'm going to see if I screwed up or you screwed up.
Oh,
No, I didn't screw up. I have it right here, Dan.
Hang on, let's see.
It's okay, it's no big deal.
Let's see.
what is under the temporary part of the ordinance?
Yep, I screwed up.
All right.
I screwed it up.
It's
Yep.
no big deal. I forgive
All
you.
right. Gotta take ownership.
Okay, so
I
motion
have
and a
to.
second.
It's in writing.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Carroll.
Yes.
Mr. Robinson.
Yes.
Mrs. Passiano.
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
Five ayes, one absent.
For some reason, the towing ordinance is not
That's
attached.
correct. And that's what I sent you all. I sent you all
I read
Give it to me, and I'll read
the
it.
giant towing order. You're gonna read all these pages?
He's gonna read this, he's gonna read the title.
I sent it, I sent it.
I understand.
It still has the
Really?
crossouts in it.
That's okay.
Okay, so we have ordinance 20-04. Is that correct? Is that my right number?
2005.
Oh, five.
2005? Look at who's second. Good job. 2005. So this is amending the existing chapter 378. There were small changes throughout, fee schedule change, and just to clarify to everyone here, that the fee schedule for the application and renewal has been amended to, the application fee shall remain at $500 every 3 years, but the renewal license is $250. So that was the amendment to it. You want to propose something different? Well, we have to make a motion in a second, and then we can have discussion.
I thought it was just going to be 250 each year.
$250 each year. Well, the application should remain $50.
500 each year?
No.
Oh, 1 year.
The application fee, so whenever we reappoint this term, we'll go out for bids. Police
And
department.
that's every 3 years?
That's every 3 years. So for $500, they apply. The towing, the police department will go out and investigate the tower, do that, but then the renewal is only $250. That's the police department, once again,
That's what I thought.
making sure everything is,
Okay.
It's not, the investigation is,
Subsequent.
but it's not as intense as the first investigation.
yes, it's not as much. So, would someone like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion and approve it for second reading on, what's that date?
April 7th,
April 7th,
according to law.
according to law.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by Ms. Kelly, second by Mr. Ranieri. Any other further discussion? Anybody else have any concerns? I think we went over this a lot. We read the caucus. Ms.
To death.
Kelly did a lot.
To
And
death.
it's important to keep going over these things and making sure we fix what's wrong. Because this has been in the law for the past 6 years, so we did make some amendments. Okay, roll call, please.
Mrs. Carroll.
Yes.
Mr. Robinstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Passiano.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
And Mr. Ranieri.
Yes.
5 ayes, 1 absent.
Okay. I do want to make a note. This is the first time in my 11 years on council that Ms. Pinto did not have the ordinances on for first reading in 11 years. 132 meetings.
I actually do have an agenda somewhere.
Actually, 264 meetings.
Say you're welcome.
264
I'm
meetings.
gonna stick up for her. There were a lot of late changes.
But I
to
did
these.
do it. The problem is
I know.
I must have thrown away
No
the
problem.
correct agenda and put the older.
Do you correct, Mr. Bayshore, 260-some meetings and late that we've never
Marking this
had?
down?
I think we should put this down. Have a little sign that says now we're resetting.
Laugh right at you.
I think we got it all correct.
Very good.
Fine, Joyce.
Okay.
Everything is fine.
Thank you, Joyce.
2 meetings a month.
Well, now I just need a clean towing ordinance, right, Dan?
No, we don't. I can do it. I can do one with the markups. and all of
lines.
that.
I
That's
like the
fine.
lines. I like
The
the
lines
lines.
are, if you look at it, even with the assembly and the
How
state
do you want
senate.
me to, you know what I'm gonna need?
How? What do you
I'm
mean?
gonna need a synopsis.
Okay.
For the,
To advertise.
sure, for advertising, I can do that.
For advertising.
That's no problem.
That's fine.
Okay. Okay, so for advertising purposes, it's only the changes. Okay, at this point, we have payment of bills. Would someone like to make a motion to pay the monthly bills?
I'll make a motion. to pay the monthly bills.
Motion by Ms. Passio, is there a second? Second by Mr. Robinson. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Kelly.
Yes.
Mr. Lobenstein.
Yes.
Mrs. Bassett.
Yes.
Mr. Shapiro.
Yes.
And Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
All ayes, one absent.
Okay, before we go to good and welfare, does the captain have anything to say? Is there anything you need to report to us? You weren't here at the caucus meeting, which we really could have used. You were the chief. So that's good.
Yeah. Everything's good.
Okay, good. No problem. Mr. Anderson, anything else before we go to the public? No. Okay, good.
Mayor, I just want to get the new car. Give me an update.
It's per the chief, me and the chief been on that one hard. It's gonna be built March 24th. Ford's at their plant, it's been not like shut down, this and that, but we have confirmation that it's being built March 24th. So we should see it a little after that.
Now, how are we for cars? Because it seems like we're getting very behind.
No, we have a plan. I met with, myself and Captain Murray met with Mr. Anderson the other day, and we have a plan going forward of, what we talked about of cars in the
Yeah, because,
future.
I mean, I expected this car last year.
Yeah, so did we, trust me, so did we. And hopefully we get this one.
And that's also a first.
Yeah.
Come in for
It
8
upsets
months.
me.
Yes, it upsets me. Myself, Captain Murray.
Oh, you think so?
What was that?
The delays are even worse?
Yeah, it's the delay. Me and the chief actually went there and sat with the lady. She wasn't there, and we went another time to met more, but it's every police department's going through. It's not, so there's nothing we can do.
But we're okay.
Yeah, well, we're good, we're great. Captain
We have
Murray does, Captain Murray does a
enough
very,
good
very good
cars
job.
that we can
Yes,
So we're getting rid of the car right now, which is
Yeah,
wonderful.
I know.
yes, very wonderful. Yeah, Captain Murray does a really good job with the fleet. We address the problems. It's the lights out, done. This done. We do a very good job behind Captain.
Except for the window, one of the.
We're gonna get that taken care of. Trust me, we're
Look
gonna.
into look into
Also, he's got it.
I saw Mr. Sambolsky driving down the street and I waved at him, and he was trying to put the window down, and it wouldn't come down, so he had to open his door.
I had to stop him.
So I had to make fun of the fact that he couldn't put his window down.
I was going to just say, I believe it's a hybrid vehicle we're getting, right?
No, I don't, not this.
No, Mr. Ramirez, this is last year's, this was approved by
Oh,
council.
so next year, following year.
July of 2019.
Wow.
Still not in,
Going forward, the chief.
Right, July of 2019.
Your wishes.
Okay,
And
very
that's the two of them. Yeah,
Oh,
two of them, and then we're good.
Hybrid, right?
The way we're taking care of the fleet and adding them.
Gotcha.
But then there's gonna be other cars that are gonna be sold as well
Take
and
off.
taken off the road.
But the hybrid, just to clarify to Mr. Rainier and everyone else, there is a longer lead time for those vehicles.
Yeah.
So the hybrids are like a build to order.
Yeah, but we want hybrids.
Absolutely. The point I just want you to be aware of though is that it's gonna take, that's gonna take 7 months.
Well, but just so everybody knows, as, you may look out the car, as we are adding, we will be subtracting.
Yes.
And the chief does a fantastic job on them years with the, getting the most out of the cars by putting them on
Oh, he
side.
gets the most out
Not
of the
putting
cars.
front
11
vehicles
stores,
out there.
11 with the peel.
It pushes the car.
But they're gonna, the older ones are gonna be gone as we're adding new ones.
Thank you.
Oh, you did?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Captain. I just
All right.
wanted to clarify that because
Yeah, try,
it's a
we can't
worrisome
wait.
thing for me.
Yeah, we're excited for it too.
Okay. Good and welfare, this portion of the meeting is open to the public. Anyone wish to speak, please come to the microphone, state your name and address.
Reagan, 171 Pine Avenue. I have two compliments. A, police department. The school alone, as I am there every single day, is a job not only for the school resource officer, but on many occasions it requires a captain and various other police officers. And the response time is impeccable. Handling some of the parents out there, can't tell you how much it's appreciated. It's the same parents that are guilty of the same things. And again, Officer Brooks is one person, and he monitors a huge area at dismissal, and it is overwhelming on any given day, especially with some of the rain we've had. And what, I've said this before, but whatever part mayor and council has in facilitating the continuation of the school resource officer, it is so, and as a parent and as a school board member, so appreciated. But again, I'm the one parent that's there, the one member that's there as a parent every single day. And it is, I mean, we had an issue the other day that literally a parent was challenging police officers as to whether she was in an accident or not, as she was still attached to the other vehicle. And so it was amazing how Officer Brooks still did his, duty, and again, the response time was, I mean, you're talking about in a 10-minute period, it was handled, done, cleared. Going forward, this may be the first time you're hearing this, hopefully it won't be the last. Whatever consideration can be given to the yellow curb around the bend as a pickup
That's
drop-off.
one thing we did want to ask you now as your school board
Yeah.
member had. I think council needs to be aware that
Yes.
you're recommending, or as the board is recommending, to eliminate the no parking along Third. I think the proper way to do it is a letter should be drafted from the Board of Education
To you.
to mayor, council, and the police department.
Okay,
The police department will review it first and determine if it makes sense to remove that, and then mayor, council would have to pass an ordinance, actually rescind the ordinance.
Well, we don't know if there is an ordinance yet, because I had talks with Chief Laverty, and he was going to be talking with Joyce. What about that? That you didn't find anything?
So you don't know if there's an ordinance up right now, even currently?
Correct, we were still looking for it to see if there is one.
Well, that would not
And if there's
surprise
one,
me.
why- Fred wanted to know why we did it.
Yeah,
Why we did what?
why we
If
put
there is
the,
one,
yeah.
why?
Well, I thought there was another question to the fire department, if they had any concerns that
Right.
no parking because of fire issues, but that's further down.
even if we
You
opened it
in
up,
front of the building that the fire department
The
has.
chief said, no, it's not an issue.
So it's not a
with the
fire
fire
issue.
department, no. So he doesn't know why that ordinance, if there is one,
Exists.
exists.
Well, as long as the fire department doesn't have a problem, the police department doesn't have a problem, I think mayor and council can make an intelligent.
yeah, it would just make a huge
They
difference
want
in-
10
at drop-off and at pickup.
They
Yeah,
want
my-
10 parking spaces.
Yeah, it would make a huge difference. And also, as you know, the preschool expansion program, which is huge. If you've noticed, rentals and sales are moving much faster for a young, first of all, it's very inviting to a young family who's moving in. It's a mortgage payment literally for childcare. So this takes the average young family of a 3 and a 4-year-old child and puts them in a school environment with before and after school care offered. So but what's happening is more staff is required, you know what I mean? So poor Officer Brooks is now moving cones of dismissal of that staff out. It really would tremendously help, that's all I'll say. My second compliment, so again, thank you. My second compliment is to Public Works. As we know, we've had some issues that have required their attention on nights and weekends, and the response time is
Not weekends, just Saturday.
You're talking
just
about the
Saturdays.
heater.
Well, Friday nights,
breaks on
not so,
Saturday.
listen. What's that?
The heater only breaks on
And
Saturday.
well, this week it broke on Friday night. But the bottom line is, again, I make a phone call, either I'm told to stand by or guys on the way, and they are literally there before it gets too cold to stay in the building. Sometimes it's warmer outside. But again, compliments to Public Works because, the response time and the attention given to this matter, it couldn't be any better. So,
Rich,
thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
Just a real quick piggyback off what Ms. Pandrell said. I walk to schools a lot, and that agreement we have with Officer Brooks, he loves that job.
Oh, yeah.
And they love him, so it's worked fantastic.
And when he does retire, I've already spoken to the school district, we're gonna put a reclining buddy bench out at Olds for him, because we have buddy benches now, which if a child's having a bad day, they sit on the bench, and it's an indication that they're having a bad day and they need a friend to sit next to them. And you have to see the kids talk to him. He never smiled on the streets, never. He was probably one of the most serious officers I've ever seen. And he walks around there, he flips pancakes on like Student of the Month day. So just.
He's great for us.
He's like a big teddy bear.
He's great.
But the bottom line is, what a benefit it's provided to the whole
Yes,
school
for
district, it
us.
really
For
has.
us and everybody
Yeah,
else.
yeah, truly appreciate it. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
My name's Paul Cole. I live at 373 Center Avenue.
Okay.
I've been there 22 years now. It's been 20 years since I sat in front of you with this problem. Again, the speeding that goes on down Center Avenue, Monday through Sunday, any time of the day. you take the time, sit on my porch, then you'll.
Even with the cars parked on both sides of the street? they-
Even with the cars parked up, and then once.
I used to live at 412 Central.
So you understand my concern. When people go to work, then the streets open more, and their cars go faster. There's no restriction, no.
Cutting through Singley, coming up Center.
You know, the jumping off 42, getting out to 295, the turnpike.
What do you think changed? Why is it all of a sudden?
It's never changed.
Oh, it's never changed? It's always.
Like I said, I came here in '01 to ask for some help with it, and nothing's happened, but only thing I do is stop them when I see them. I ask them to slow down, sometimes politely, sometimes not so polite. I can't keep doing it. I keep running out of my chances. I look out my driveway, it's clear, as far as I can see. I back out, take my kids to school, and my car, I'm backing out, or my kids be the first one to enter the street. They will be the first ones to get taken in the car, if the car is theirs. I can't keep using up my chances. I can't go 100%. They're gonna get me one of these chances. I just need some help with speed bump, stop sign. They did an awesome job this week. They were out there every day.
We're out there.
Yeah, I have, being the head of patrol, I field a lot of phone calls and I take them all serious. And I happened to talk to Mr. Cole a couple of days about it. I put Officer Iannelli out there and he issued some summonses and some warnings. I had him out there at different times and I will continue to address it in any way that I can.
Is it residents or is it people cutting through because of traffic?
Both.
It's both.
Yes, and I understand it. Like I said, I took his phone call serious.
Well, you know, we put speed bumps on Singley, so the idea was to try to stop people from cutting through. We did some on Harsh, but then we obviously get pushback on both sides trying to
It's
consider
the
it
whole
to.
street in Runnemede without any, he
We
turned
need
to slow down.
signage,
No stop sign, there's no
we
speed
need the
limit.
police to address it, we need the police to give tickets like that.
Yes.
And, you know, even if we had to have the monitor, we don't have one. to
Well,
monitor
I'll
speed.
continue to.
I've seen the speed monitor go out there and they use it as an obstacle, like to get 45, 50. I've seen them touch 50 miles an hour on that machine, so.
Speeders.
When they put that out there, it just
It's
gives
the
it.
same thing like the speed, the speeders will speed over faster, because that's just the way they are.
well, I think as long as the police department is made aware it's one of the
Yes.
streets that is a major cut through,
Yes, he's exactly right.
especially during school day and school hours.
Where's Center Avenue down there? Which one's that?
Well, he's basically, if you're coming down Third and you make a right towards Volts, if you make a left, that becomes Center, and Center runs all the way to Lakeview.
Right around the.
And then Lakeview, Center turns into Lakeview at one point. Yeah. No.
They go down to Smith Lane.
Yeah, Smith all the way out.
Oh, the way
Third.
people cut through,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
they cut through.
Yeah, it's,
But we'll do our best, like I said, we'll, I mean, you're letting them know and we'll do our,
I'll stay.
we've been trying.
I'll stay on it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, is there a motion to close the public portion?
I'll make a motion to public vote.
Motion by Mr. Lobenstein, second by Mr. Spear. All in favor? Aye. All right, public portion is closed. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Motion by Ms. Passio, second by Mr. Ranieri. All in favor? We are adjourned at 8:02.